guys, how's it going? Today I want to give you kind of a mini garden tour, basically of our vegetable garden area. I've got some changes coming up that I'm going to be doing to this spot, so I really wanted to show you kind of a before. And I know many of you have seen this already. It was kind of a process for us last year, and we've had quite a few questions about my raised beds, about what size they are, the depth, what I put in them. So I thought I would cover some of those things today. And we've also been asked why we haven't been doing our big garden tours on a monthly basis. And one reason is because we had Benjamin. Second reason is that not much is going on yet. Everything is pretty much still dormant. So if you referred back to March of 2017, it's pretty much what our garden looks like right now, minus a few trees and a few things we've pulled out and a couple things we've added. But we showed you those things in other garden tours later on last year. So anyway, you can see all of our raised beds here. There are 12 of them. So I've got 4 3x4 beds. So there's 2 on this side and 2 on that side. It's very balanced, and I wanted this to be a very formal space. And then right here, these are 3x6s. Same on that side. And then these are 3 foot wide and then 6 foot. So they're L-shaped. Just because this is the kind of the focal of the garden area, and I'm going to put some kind of a pot or something decorative right in the center. And then we are having a picket fence built here pretty quick. It'll be a 3 foot walkways all the way around with an opening, 4 foot opening in the front, 4 foot openings on either side with arbors, roses, the whole bit, and I'm going to have it stained black. I think it's going to look really pretty, especially when my North Pole arborvitae, so that's what's lining the fence, when those grow up and they're creating a green wall. Like, just envision that, a green wall, the black picket fence, and then this formal garden space. I'm so excited just for how much progress we've been able to make up to this point. The reason why I chose 3 foot beds is because when I'm down here, I'm pretty short-ish, like average, on the short side of average. It's really easy for me to reach into the middle of these beds and weed, harvest, whatever I'm doing. The 4 foot beds are just a little bit too wide for me. And honestly, our space here is fairly narrow. If I would have done 4 foot beds, it would have went too far into our driveway and it would have made things too tight. So that's why I went with the 3 foot beds. This is a 2x12 redwood. So I had the option of doing, well, treated is out because I didn't want anything chemical. I had the option of redwood and cedar. Redwood was exponentially cheaper. Is that a thing? It was way cheaper than cedar, so that's what I went with. I think it was, oh, I can't even remember how much, like the red was maybe like a third of the cost of the cedar. Now, some of you who watched our garden tours or the video where we initially set up our raised beds might notice that these are different than the first beds we set up. Gardener Supply was so sweet to send us all that we needed to set up cedar raised beds in here, but they were a little bit too short. And you know, I just didn't know that until I got them set up in here, which is unfortunate, but I am using them in another space. So they are being utilized, so I'm not wasting them. I actually put them one on top of the other and made giant, tall, beautiful raised beds behind the greenhouse, which we might run back there and show you. The other thing is about what is in here. That is a huge question. It was a huge question to me, actually. I tried to do a ton of research on what to fill the beds with, because 12 beds, I mean, that's a lot of soil to find or to mix yourself. And I was finding so much conflicting information. It was kind of frustrating. So I don't know if you guys have done that, if you've done the research on that. So I went with a company in Boise, Idaho, I think called Cloverdale Nursery. They have a premium raised bed garden mix that's 56% premium topsoil that's of course been sifted. There's no rocks or anything in here. I mean, look at this, it's beautiful. 34% compost from, it's called Cascade Compost, which is from Cascade, Idaho. It's composted like wood chips and plant material. And then the other percentage left, which I can't remember, I don't know where my math is on that. But the rest of it is composted manure. So it's a really good blend. And the benefit of raised beds versus in-ground planting is that you can 100% control what's in your raised beds. So I know that I've got like premium soil here, and then I can add in my biotone, which is a starter fertilizer. I always add that in, and I can just control what goes on in here. We have really crappy soil here. It's really high alkaline. It's really heavy clay, and it's really hard just to get things to grow here. We're high desert, super hot in the summer, like 115 is the hottest I remember it getting with no humidity. So like, put your plants in that kind of situation, they don't do super well. So if your soil's bad to boot, it's kind of a bad mix. So I think that that kind of covers everything in this space. Now, as far as what I've got growing so far, I've got my Italian garlic in this bed. It's looking amazing. Put on a little growth in the winter. We've still got some that are a little behind, but they're coming. So this bed, pretty much 100% germ, I think. Yep, 100% germ. Awesome. This bed, there's nothing in it. I just put those chicken wire cloches in there because Gardener Supply sent them out and they're cute. So, you know, may as well. Don't have anything planted in these yet. I've got 3 varieties of garlic in this bed. I've got chestnut, which actually has kind of a weird look to it. Like it's kind of yellowish, but it's growing out of it. Then I've got red toque, I think is how you say it, here, which looks great. And then German red, which was my poorest germinating garlic. You can see my big gap right there. There's nothing going on there, which is kind of sad. But we'll have plenty of garlic either way. I've got my onions planted here, onion sets, which we just put a video up of. I've got peas planted on my bamboo trellis. In this bed, I've got Chinese cabbage in these 2 domes. I've got broccoli in that dome, a broccoli kale hybrid in this dome, and then all cabbage, just a regular green cabbage, can't remember the variety, in these domes here. So that's what I've got going so far. These other beds will be filled up very soon. So excited about getting the fence built, but let's run behind the greenhouse real quick and I'll just end by showing you the raised beds I built with Gardener Supply's cedar ones. So we're behind the greenhouse right now. This right here is my door holder for the greenhouse door. I've got North Pole arborvitae, which we planted 2 years ago in this space, and these survived our horrid winter, which was not this year, but last year. The snow was 52 inches, so like, what is that, like this tall? So they survived and they look good. And then these are the raised beds. Aren't these awesome? I love it. Looks like I need to do a little bit of weeding, but the same kind of soil in these ones here, and it goes all the way to the bottom. So I've got a lot of, like, I could do some potatoes back here. It gets a lot of sun in this spot, even though this is where our neighbors just built, and this is their shed, which is actually perfect. They're gonna put some raised beds back in here, and they're also gonna put North Pole arborvitae up along the back of their fence. So we'll kind of have like a continuous look, which is awesome. Super thrilled. I know it's kind of, you see land like around your house being built on, and it can be disappointing, but this isn't disappointing to me really. We knew that people were going to be building back here when we bought the place, and we're just thankful for who is actually building there. We got really lucky with neighbors. So anyway, I think that addresses all of the questions I've seen come through about our raised beds. If you have any more, let me know down below and we'll try to answer them in a Q&A video or something like that. We'll also have a whole lot more videos in the vegetable garden. Of course, we'll tour it more when we've got more changes, more things, once the fence is in and I've got some things planted around the exterior and it starts looking less like a sore thumb and more like it's part of our garden. And we'll also do a video when I install the drip system in our raised beds, which will be here pretty quick. I want to get that going before I have too much planted in there. So yeah, I think that's it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.